For Facebook passwords, but is the legislation necessary? That's the question. Judge Andrew Napolitano here to break it down. Judge, really, do we need a law to say that you cannot ask for someone's username or password?
Well, remember, the person being asked is in an unusual situation. Typically, they're an applicant for employment. So they know if they don't answer the question put to them by the person from HR, their chances of getting that job are going down. But if the question is not asked because the law won't allow the question to be asked, then they're on safe grounds. But here is the law. You are technically correct, Ashley and Tracy, and I won't forget your name. Who could forget you? The law protects your privacy and does not permit your employer or your potential employer to ask a question like that. But most people are unaware of it. So by enacting legislation, it basically tells everybody in HR in the entire state of California, you can't ask this question.
So then you're saying it is necessary?
It's necessary because people will try and get away with whatever they can get away with, because think of the hoops through which you'd have to jump in order to sue. I'm an applicant for a job. They ask me for my Facebook password and I don't give it. I don't get the job. Am I going to sue them and say the reason I didn't get the job is because you invaded my privacy, you attempted to invade my privacy, and I wouldn't let you? I then have to prove that that's the very reason I didn't get the job. A very difficult lawsuit to prove. But unless and until someone does that, or the legislature makes that question unlawful, HR folks will continue to ask it, because their job is to find out as much about applicants as they can. And the Facebook password is a gateway to a treasure trove of information.
Were these laws deal specifically with Facebook, or are they more encompassing? Because you could have other social networks out there and the same issue could come out.
Very good question, because if the law targeted Facebook, or if the law was written in such a way that it only pertained to Facebook, it would be unconstitutional for a variety of other reasons. So it has to pertain to all private information, not your social security number, because they are entitled to do a credit check on you, but the combination of your locker at the gym, your diary, whatever code or pass number that you use for anything else that you have a right to keep away from the rest of the world, they can't ask about it, and the statute would prohibit all
Okay, so
that.
according to your notes, most employee relations are on a state level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so does that mean now we need all 50 states to pass something like this?
Well, eventually the states will differ on this, and the states that are have a name for themselves for protecting civil liberties greater than others, like, for example, New Jersey, will be in the forefront of saying to HR people you can't ask. But other states that are not necessarily in that category, like, say, South Carolina, won't. So you'll be able to ask for a Facebook password in South Carolina, but not in New Jersey. I'm just using these two states as a hypothetical based upon their track records and my personal familiarity with New Jersey. Neither of them has a statute on this, and both are neutral now. But you will end up with HR departments of multinational corporations that can ask questions in some states, but can't ask them in others unless and until there's a national standard.
Right. Very interesting stuff, Judge.